Hi, and welcome back to another fast, loose, easy watercolor painting. Today we're just going to going to try to do the majority of this with a 3/4 inch flat watercolor brush, pair of scissors, and some Payne's gray. I'm using an unusual size here. This is 5.5 by 14. So not something that I would normally use. And I'm going to wet probably 90% of this page. I'm going to only leave the land is just going to be a little strip across the bottom here, okay? So I have this taped to my board. This is 140-pound watercolor paper. And I'm going to mix up some Payne's gray here. And it's going to be fairly intense, okay? Fairly intense. We're going to put quite a bit of it across the top. A couple little chunks in there from something. It's okay, just knock those right out of there. And I'm also going to pick up some blue. Now the blue that you use is completely up to you, but I'm going to use this sort of bright, I don't exactly know which blue this is, but it doesn't make much of a difference. I'm going to set those aside over there, pick that up. Just put that through here. And I'm going to tip my board so it's going away from the land area right now. Back up towards the edge. And it should pool up there. Put that little bit of color there. So we'll just kick that back in there. Remember, this is easy, loose watercolor painting. I'm not trying to... We're not really trying to create a masterpiece here. We're trying to have some fun with some watercolor. I like how that's sort of blended together there and leaving a little bit of white space across there. That's kind of cool. Get some of this to run this way. And now we'll see if we can get it to come down towards the land here. And a couple of tricks is, you know, when you get your color down here as colorful as you want it to be, remember watercolor paint always dries very, very light compared to the way that it looks like when it's wet. You'll see there's a couple of spots here that are not looking too hot. That didn't get kind of dried up a little bit there, so we'll just touch that with the brush and see if we can get some of the water to run into that. And this brush is very dry, so I'm just going to pick up some of this water across here. Okay, just like that. We're going to let this run to wherever it is it's going to run to. Now we're going to pick up some more Payne's gray. I'm going to go back to the brush that I started with, this brush. Pick up some more Payne's gray, but not much water, okay? Not much water at all. We're just going to put a little bit of a tree line across there, just like that. Now that's going to look fairly intense, but we're going to let the water pick that up and start to carry that a little bit. Bring it across here a little bit more. And then as soon as we pick it board up and we tip it up, you'll see it'll start to run. It'll start to run up into the water, and the intensity level of it will come down almost immediately. Now, don't let it go too far. You don't want those trees to, you know, slide up into there too much. And you'll see that this blue has started to come down across here. That's perfectly fine. Let it. Direct it as much as you want it to. If you don't want to direct it at all, don't direct it. Now we're just going to leave that sit for a few seconds. Add a little bit more in there, kind of straighten that up. If you want to straighten that up some more, you can take that same brush, dry it off with your paper towel, and then just slide that right across there. And you'll see you'll pick that right up, just like that, and just slide it right off the page. If you dry brush stuff like that, you'll suck quite a bit of the pigment right out of there, and that's perfectly fine. Remember, we're trying to get these to look like they're off in the distance, so. Take that and you can dry that right up and just get a good line across the bottom. However it is that you want to do it. That's started to pick up quite a bit of that water now, and I'm perfectly fine with that. So I'm kind of setting this up to be a wintry fall, late fall, early winter kind of scene. I'm going to put a little bit of water right across the bottom there. I'm going to try to not touch that Payne's gray. And now I'm going to pick up a little bit of this, which is burnt umber, okay? And I'm going to put this burnt umber right across the whole bottom here, quite a bit of it, just like that. And you'll see the burnt umber has a reddish kind of a tone in it. And you'll see how that's starting to seep up away from the area of high concentration into an area of low concentration. So that's migrating out of there. That's perfectly fine. Just let it go. Add some more, but let it continue to migrate out of there as much as it wants to. You can tip it up. You can get it to migrate out a little bit more if you like. You can even take your brush, add a little bit more pigment to it, and that'll get it to run a little bit more. Or you can add a little bit of water into that white area, and that'll get it to run even a little bit more for you. This is yellow ochre. Gonna let a little bit of that yellow ochre run up towards that tree line. Tip it up. Nice, that's working out not too bad at all. Now if you want, you can take a tissue and you can start to extract some of that if you like. I think mine's turning out all right. It's a little bit crazy right there with that tree. That one's not too bad, but that one's kind of a little bit. That one was starting to get a little bit away on me, I think. Remember, this is loose, free watercolor painting. You know, open, expressive. This is not about trying to control it and make a highly detailed painting. This is about trying to have a little bit of fun with watercolor and trying to enjoy the act of painting. I'm going to dry up all of this right now because I don't want any more of that to seep up into there. I like that blue across there, but we'll have to see what it looks like when it dries. So I'm going to let this run back out of there again, see what we get. Anyways, I think that's it for this one. I'll let this dry and I'll take a picture and I'll post it at the end. If you're currently a subscriber, I thank you very much. If you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I need to know that there's people out there watching me. I hope you have a great day painting. Give this one a try. Let me know how it works out for you. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again next time.